Private Party, thank you guys so much for taking the time to chat with me. I mean, obviously you guys have a ton going on right now. We are days away from WrestleDream, where you guys will be taking on the Young Bucks for the AEW World Tag Team titles. You guys obviously have so much history with the Bucks. Let's go back to that first match that you had with the Bucks here in AEW. What that meant to you guys, where that kind of puts you guys on the map as a tag team, as pro wrestlers.
Yeah, you go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would have to say, like, with all puns, I guess, it was the WrestleDream for us. Because, like, we were striving to get an opportunity on TV. We were striving. We went for different companies, and we was told no. And when we finally got up there and get the big win on the Bucks, it made everything. It was pretty much everything for us.
We actually, I mean, still to this day, like, we idolize the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks, you can tell by our wrestling style that we have a lot of comparisons, a lot of similarities. And for us to have that match with the Young Bucks, you know, our first ever televised match on TV, it meant a lot. And especially to get the big W, you know, it was something that we never thought we would experience, but we did. And we were so grateful for that moment.
Talk to me about the times like before that. I mean, you kind of touched on it a second there ago about the like working for different companies, trying to get that opportunity. Then you finally get it. And it's like, you better step up to the plate and knock it out of the park. And you guys did do that. But like, what were sort of some of the conversations you guys were having with yourselves, maybe amongst each other to kind of get ready for that moment and know, like, don't bite it right now?
It's crazy because I felt like quitting. Like,
Really?
Yeah. It was a point in time where we was making the towns, you know, driving up for little to no money, and going to these shows, you know, paying our dues, helping out. You know, when the Young Bucks was Ring of Honor time, we used to always go to the shows and, you know, chat with the Young Bucks, try to network and see what we could do to be in the position just like them. And like he said, everywhere we got told no. And then, you know, in the Indies, we got there's tag teams that just kept passing us, getting signed. And it's like, man, what are we doing wrong here? You know, and I got to a point where I said, Quinn, I want to quit. You know what I mean? He said, no, let's pull through. And then it was one day I went to Best Buy. I spent like the last of my savings on a laptop. And I decided, you know, I said, you know what? I'm gonna make a 1 minute highlight video. And that minute highlight video got assigned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, wait, so how did that happen? Like, you do the highlight video. Where do you put it out? How do you make sure it lands in the right hands and like gets you where you guys need to be? That's crazy.
So it's one of those things where I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try it. I wasn't expecting anything from it. And I said, I'm just put it out to the universe, see what happens. And you know, it can't hurt.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a time where Young Bucks and FTR was like feuding on Twitter. And Young Bucks said a tweet, or FTR said to, I think it was Young Bucks. They said, one day we're gonna face FTR and everybody will rejoice. So I decided to make a 1 minute highlight video, and I put that same caption. I said, one day Private Party will face the Young Bucks and everyone will rejoice. Next thing you know, probably like 30 minutes later, I get a notification that Matt Jackson put the eyes and said, who are these guys?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then fast forward, I kept making highlight videos, and it kept getting traction. Matt would quote tweet it with a bunch of stuff, and then next thing you know, I get a DM. It says, hey, are you guys signed? And we're starting a project up in in January, which was AEW. And I said, absolutely, I'm in.
Oh my gosh, that just gave me goosebumps. It's so crazy when you can like feel like you're so at your breaking point. I'm done, I'm ready to like move on, do something else. And then like that one thing changes the entire course of your careers. So now to have that experience, you had that match with the Young Bucks, you faced them since, but now to have this opportunity at WrestleDream, 5 years have passed since that first match. How different are you guys coming into this match?
I would say we definitely come in more smarter. And for me, I feel like you're only good as your last match. And the last match with the Bucks, we beat them.
That's true.
So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. You know how they say win, lose, or draw?
Yeah.
For us, it's just win, 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 because at this point, we know them better than like they know. Probably they know themselves, because we watched them, we studied them.
Yeah.
We did.
So.
I would say when we first started, it was one of those things where we're happy to be here. And whatever happens, happens. Whatever opportunity you give us, we're gonna take it and run with it. But now it's like, all right, now it's time to make our stamp here. Now it's time to show people we belong here. Now it's time to show people like who we really are. And show that we can carry the torch, show that we can be the best tag team, and what better way to beat the Young Bucks for the tag team championships at WrestleDream.
I feel like there's really that surge of that shift starting to happen in AEW. Guys like yourselves, guys like Daniel Garcia. I mean, I know that you guys are close with him as well, and like,
My guy.
that's your guy. We've seen the streams. It's your guy. But to know that like the future is your guys. I mean, at some point you got to take it.
Yeah.
It's time to take it. So what are those actions to kind of get the wheels in motion for that?
I feel like, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like for a long time we was very content, very comfortable, and just being yes men and saying, yeah, I'll take whatever you're doing and I'll make the best out of it. But now it's time to show people like, all right, now we got to take the ball and, step out of our comfort zone. That's why we changed the theme song.
Right.
A lot of people love the theme song, but man, what about us? For me,
Yeah.
the theme song is great, but it's time for a change.
Right.
I don't want to be dancing.
I love change.
Yeah,
Me
I don't want
too.
to dance. We've been dancing for the past 5 years. I want to, show that we could be serious. I want to take things serious and show that we have that serious side.
We want to show them that we're in this for the long run. And like, we're not just guys that just want to sit back and collect a check. We actually want to earn our money.
For sure.
Speaking of going in and having this fight, of course, I have to ask you about your hand, the status of your hand. I mean, you're going in to a huge match for the tag titles, obviously not at 100%. How's that going to come into play against the Bucks?
Renee, I'll be lying to you if I said I had an answer for you. I do not have an answer for you. When adrenaline hits your body, it takes over. So for the past few matches, the adrenaline been just taking over my body. But this is a different kind of match. This is a championship match, and it's still kind of fresh. I think doctor said I got like about 2 to 3 weeks where I should be fine. I have no idea. I hope, things will work out in my favor, but I can't make no promises. And this is to your man, by the way. Your man did this.
I personally wanted to say, but out of respect for you.
Well, you know how I'm coming, so.
Yeah, I mean, but let's talk about what happened there with John and the things that he said to you guys as this was happening. I mean, talking about those 5 years, people aren't making the moves, people aren't growing to where they should be growing. Did that stuff resonate with you guys at all, or was it just the full-on attack from him that is the thing that stuck with you?
No, Mox was, I hate to admit it, but he was right.
Yeah.
He was right about every single thing that he said. We've been here for 5 years, and it sucks and it hurts to say that we haven't really done anything. The only thing that people remember us by is a match that we had 5 years ago against the Young Bucks, and it hurts every time I think about it. There's guys that come in and do extraordinary things, win championships. They just pass us by, and I'm tired of feeling that way. I mean, it sucks, it hurts, especially when I got my family watching TV. There's times where I don't even tell my family, hey, don't turn on the TV, because I don't want them to see the outcome that they're not gonna expect.
I would say he kind of lit this fire under us that we lost.
Absolutely.
We can't wait for opportunity anymore. We got to take the opportunity.
Why do you think over those 5 years that you weren't able to make the moves that you wanted to make, and why some of these other guys have come in and basically taken money from you guys?
I think we was just comfortable. We was comfortable with coming out. We was comfortable with having fun. We was comfortable with dancing, doing shots, and basically we were comfortable. We was content in the spot that we was in. And then when we finally realized, like, oh snap, everybody passed us, and we've been here for 5 years. We have yet to win a championship. Like I said before, the only thing people remember us by is the match we had 5 years ago against the Young Bucks. You know how defeated you feel? I feel so defeated. Every time I say, hey, the only thing I remember is the match Private Party had against the Young Bucks.
It's hard because, like you guys said at the beginning, it's like you're trying to find your way to break in, then you finally do, and now all of a sudden there's a paycheck coming in, you're on TV, you're still doing stuff, you weren't not doing anything. And at a certain point, it's like that party comes to an end. It's like you got to put up or shut up. And now you guys are at this crossroads at a perfect time to have this match against the Young Bucks, where you guys now could have those tag titles around your waist, and this could completely change the trajectory of Private Party.
Oh, for sure.
Are you guys feeling that pressure coming into this match? I mean, to have John saying these things, to have this opportunity in front of you, this is really another one of those moments that if you guys don't rise to the occasion, where do you go?
Well, number one, I don't even think like that because I know we thrive under pressure.
That's true.
That's what we show off the most. Just like coming from Brooklyn, New York. I like to say I'm from the projects to the squared circle. Pressure is something that I always like. I kind of like. And as far as like going into the match with the Bucks and stuff, I said before, we got this in the cake. I don't want to say like we're going to like completely whoop their ass and that's it. I'm just like, we know it's gonna be hurdles. We're gonna have obstacles, but we're gonna overcome them. And we are gonna become the tag team champions.
So let's look forward to another 5 years from now. You guys are young guys. You guys still have so much time ahead of you in the ring if you choose to do so. What do you see the next 5 looking like for you guys and for the future of AEW as we talk about this change that's starting to happen in some of these younger guys that are getting ready to kind of step up into those big spots?
I say for me in the next 5 years, I see another team sitting here talking about us the same way that we're talking about the Bucks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we're gonna be those guys that beat Private Party.
Yeah, carrying the torch. And just to pick back up what you said before, this Young Bucks match, as cliche as it sounds, I truly feel like this is the most important match of our careers because, like you said, this match could change everything. You know, we've been here for 5 years, and just like what Moxley said, we haven't really done anything. We haven't even been in a pay-per-view to have a 2-on-2 tag team match. This is our first official 2-on-2 tag team match.
That's crazy. I mean, the time goes by so fast. We have so many different pay-per-views. We have all these different shows to like actually take that nugget of information. That's huge.
It's very huge. So I feel like we have a lot to prove. And the most important part of this, I just want to make my family proud. And I know you want to make your family proud. I want to be able to take championships to my grandmother before she passes away. I want to be able to just finally be an inspiration to my little brother, you know, and just show my mom something that she could be proud of, show my father something he could be proud of, and just be an example to my family and anybody who looks like me, who looks like him, anybody who I can aspire. And I feel like this match, when we win those tag team championships, it will put all those conversations to rest, and I could finally do that. He could finally do that. Yeah, for the past couple of interviews that I had, I just spoke from the heart, and I feel like that's when people could feel what I'm saying. You know, that's when they resonate with what we're saying. And I feel like I just want people to know where we're coming from because we've been building up this animosity for the past 5 years, and I'm just tired of feeling like a failure, you know, having nothing to show for our success. I mean, yeah, we're here, we're on TV, but we always want more for ourselves.
Yeah.
We always shoot for the stars.
More and more.
And I feel like it may have took a very long time, but now we're on the right path to do that.
It's like really in the scope of it. It's not that it's taken such a long time, but it does take a while to find that groove. It's like to find your own. How old are you guys?
26.
I'm 33.
I mean, yeah. So it takes a little while.
27, sorry.
Wow.
I just heard 27.
But it does take a while sometimes to find your voice and find your why and find where you're coming from, what those different perspectives are. It's like I feel like, especially when you're a fan of professional wrestling, you have in your mind of what I should be talking about, what promos sound like, what matches look like. But then when you can really kind of, you know, look within and find out what it is that you're trying to do, it's crazy when it just starts to connect and feels so much more, it's real.
For sure. I've walked away doing interviews like, this is what it is, and I'm not gonna change it. I'm not gonna redo it because that was real.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to before your days here at AEW. Talk about some of these other shows that you guys have been working on. Did you guys wrestle the Bucks before?
We wrestled the Bucks, not here, but in House of Glory.
Yes.
That's where we trained at.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, New York. Shout out everybody in Brooklyn, New York. Shout out everybody in New York, period. Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. We used to take the train, take the bus every 3 to 5 days every week, you know, trying to perfect our craft, trying to learn. And we did a lot of stuff at House of Glory, like a lot of stuff at House of Glory. Shout out to everybody at House of Glory. Shout out to Brian Excel.
They still
Shout out
going.
to Amazing Red, our trainer. So, quick story. When I was 19, I believe, I'm pretty sure everybody who's watching this know that we're big fans of the Hardy Boys, super fans. And I never thought that we would have got signed. You know, I don't know why, but I just never had that vision that we would have got signed or make it to the big leagues.
Wait, can I cut you off right there?
Sure.
So for me, at this point, I always looked at it like, if I don't get nothing for wrestling, I always felt like I would work hard enough that Isaiah would get something out of it. And I think, and I think that with that, I guess maybe that mindset, I was blessed too with this opportunity at AEW.
Yeah. So you would have just done what you needed to do to get him in a spot to succeed. How did you guys first meet?
That's nice.
At House of Glory.
Yeah. And you guys just became friends right away.
So I remember I was 14 years old, and man, I was so intimidated because all these guys are bigger than me. I was super skinny, super small. I was really short. And I came in the first day of school, I had a Jeff Hardy t-shirt. And mind you, I don't know nobody. I'm like super nervous, super shy. And he was the first person that came up to me and said, hey, I like your shirt. And the rest was history.
Wow. It all started with the Hardy Boys.
I mean, I didn't have money enough to like, see the shirts in person. So this is like my first time looking. I'm like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Wow.
And then the other guys just wanted to beat him up because he was small and, practice moves, drop him on his head. And I was just like,
Yeah, he stood up for me. He's left like a big brother in me. And he didn't have to. He could have been one of those guys that picked me up and slammed me on my head.
Sure.
He stood up for me, and now we're here.
What was it about Zay when you first saw him that you wanted to take him under your wing like that?
oh, it wasn't him personally. It was just shirt. Anybody got the shirt. No, I think we was just doing, I think it's called like round robin when you just tag somebody in and you just going through training. And we did poetry in motion. And like, I knew he didn't know how to do it. Right. But then when I seen him do it, like he committed to the move, I was like, oh crap. Then I looked over to Red and Red was just like, and that's when it clicked for me, clicked for Red. And then Red was just like, you gotta wait till you're 17 in New York. So then he's like, just drag it out till he gets 17 and you'll be good. And I just remember doing that.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back to House of Glory. You guys are there, you're doing your thing.
Yeah, so we went to House of Glory. We out here training every week, doing shows here and there. And the thing about House of Glory shows is it was very different from any other promotion that I know of, because he would have students, Brian would have students actually wrestling these top indie names, wrestling these top stars. Like there was times where students wrestled guys like AJ Styles, students wrestled guys like Ricochet. So he's really, even him, he wrestled Ricochet and Swerve.
I did.
Cool.
When I clearly wasn't ready to, but that's how much our trainers believed in us to have that opportunity. And I really appreciate that and I'm really grateful for that. So fast forward, all the trainers, all the students, they know we were fans of the Hardy Boys, super fans. And I remember it was one day, we was out of school in the morning and going through regular practice, and trainer says, hey, I have a surprise for you.
Red. It was Red.
The Red, okay. Red was like, yeah, I got a surprise for you. And next thing you know, I see the graphic of us versus the Hardy Boys. And just being in that moment, I just started crying, like I just tears of joy. Like, is this real? Do I really deserve this? Because I couldn't believe it. Like I'm facing my childhood heroes. I'm getting choked up talking about it.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait, let me tag me in. All right, because he jumped the gun because we was at training and Red was just like, he was like, oh, listen to this voicemail from my son. And his son is like, hey, Dad, I miss you. I want you to come home. And then the next voicemail was, hey, Red, it's Matt Hardy. And that's when it's coming back. It's coming back. So then, you can see it on my arm.
Yeah, wow.
So then it was like, hey, it's Matt Hardy. So then that's when, like, like we was the type, I guess, we play around doing class or whatever. But then when you heard, hey, it's Matt Hardy, it was just like, and he was like, oh yeah, me and Jeff, we're open to do the date and all this other stuff. So then next thing you know, the students was coming up to congratulate us like, yo, congratulations on the match and everything. And that's when I was just like,
oh my gosh.
That's a very important detail. I actually forgot about that detail.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
wow.
Every time I think about it.
And chills thinking about that. Wow, yeah, because I was super emotional. Like, I'm facing the Hardy Boys. And I promise you, like, after that match happened, if I would have died the next day, I would have been super happy and super grateful in my life because that moment was everything for us.
So then when you were able to reconnect with those guys here, was it just like right away, like,
oh my
we're
God.
back, baby?
I'm still a Mark.
Yeah.
I still mark
I
up
mean,
to
who's
Matt
not
and
a
Jen.
Hardy Boys
Yeah.
Mark, right? How can you not be?
Matt was also one of the switches to us back then, because when he faced us, we were just two guys in tights.
Yeah.
And he goes, I hear Private Party. This is not what I envisioned. And then that's when we was just like, okay, let's dig deep into Private Party. So then that's when the dancing and the
Yeah.
outfits and all that other stuff started coming in.
What other kind of stuff did you guys learn from working with them like that?
So when we first, like, the dancing was a crucial part. Like you said, we was just flippy guys, want to do flips and stuff. He was like, you should probably dance before the match. So we had like a little dance.
The Hardy Boys like one thing, it's a good dance. It's iconic.
Yeah, so we was dancing with them before the match started. And it's something we were definitely
Yeah.
brand new. We didn't know about this. Like, we didn't know the entertainment side of wrestling.
Right.
So I would say definitely Matt introduced us to the entertainment through the entertainment and the character side of wrestling.
It's so cool when those things really do come together. So you can be great in the ring.
For sure,
But until
yeah.
you start to do some of those other things, whether it's the promos, the dancing, you know, the presentation of all those things, like, yeah, once those things start firing in all cylinders, then you find yourselves here.
Yeah.
Tag championship opportunity in front of you, days away. Any final thoughts that you guys have? I mean, whether it's something you want to say to the Bucks, something you want to say to each other, something you want to say to your family, whatever.
I love y'all.
I
felt
just,
that.
Yeah. Anybody who's watching, anybody who supported us from day one, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You know, we wasn't supposed to be here. Two kids from Brooklyn, from the hood. This is crazy. We're sitting out here with Renee, you know, having an interview with a bunch of cameras in front of it. It's hard to put into words how much this moment means to us. And now we're about to be on pay-per-view, facing the Young Bucks. I just want to say I'm very thankful. I'm super grateful for everybody who supported us. And I hope we made you proud.
We will make them proud.
Well, guys, best of luck at WrestleDream. Hopefully you walk away with those championships over your shoulder, around your waist, whatever you decide to do with them. You've got a lot of people rooting for you guys around here.
Are you rooting for me?
Yeah.